What up? This is Ajavius, AJ, Fat Gotti, Fat, whatever you like to call me.
Oh,
This is me on the next episode of ClearMindz, Uncut. And today we're going to do things a little different. So I have here with me my buddy Swan the Dunn, the guy behind the camera. He usually making the magic happen. Like, he gets it done, okay? Because if I don't know how to do the technical stuff. It's not my thing. Either way, we're going to do a little different today. We're going to do what we call a love letter to Conway. As most of you guys know, the ones who will probably watch this, who care. I am relocating to Houston, Texas for a job. I just graduated dental hygiene school at UAMS, and I accepted the offer back in March to practice in the state of Texas. And so I'm moving there. And so in an effort to, I guess, provide Conway with some closure myself too, because I feel like this place has gave me a lot. I just want to, I guess, kind of talk about what I learned here, the people that impacted me, the people I may have impacted, and just kind of, thank them personally. I guess everybody I can think of, and just talk about what I've learned, and how God is always in the midst. Literally, like, I can't tell you how He's just played a pivotal role in this journey. But yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So if you're interested, tune in, like, subscribe, comment, and share. I always want to say that. I want to say that.
all the good stuff.
That's right. So I'll let you start with whatever questions you may have, because I feel like there's so many questions that people want to ask me.
No, definitely, man. And I don't know, I may come from a different perspective
Absolutely.
with this, but it may be a good thing that
Right.
leads to something.
Right. Exactly.
We're just gonna go there,
I like that.
man. And something, the guy behind the camera, Swan Dunn. My tagline is deeper than design. So get ready.
Say
man.
that again.
Deeper than design.
Deeper than design. I like that.
Yeah, man. That's me. So, hey, I'm gonna give you Swan Dunn. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I ain't holding back. Man.
He gonna ask some questions.
No, like, for real, man.
Yeah.
And just
yeah.
for some of the people that don't know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious if you can kind of give us a quick
Mm-hmm.
little start. Like, yeah, we know about the football thing, but like,
Right.
lead us there a little with the quick.
Yeah, so I'm a small town kid, born and raised, and born in Port Gibson, Mississippi. Was raised in Jackson, Mississippi. Graduated high school 2017, south side of Jackson, Mississippi, Forest Hill High School. That's my stomping grounds. That's where a butt made of JV is, or Fat Mac, or Fat, whatever. That's what made me who I am today.
Shout out. You ain't gonna do the little. What's the high school? Y'all ain't got no.
Oh, I went to the University of South Jackson. They call it Forest Hill High School. And man, it provided me with some invaluable life lessons.
Okay.
Like, it's one of the better schools in the district for a short period of time. Either way, I come from Forest Hill High School, graduated class 2017. I graduated the top 1% of my class.
Come
Don't
on.
ever get it twisted, okay? Yeah. I graduated
know.
number 4 or 5 to be exact. I can't remember. Either way, we
Out of
ranked
how much? How many?
270, I
Turn
think.
up then.
Yeah, it was a pretty small but decent class. In Mississippi, we had like 8 high schools in the district. Graduated there, and I got the scholarship to play at the University of Central Arkansas. That's where Conway comes into play. I laughed. I said I would never go to school that place. There's no way on God's green earth I'm going there. Absolutely not.
Boom. So what happened?
God, I was laying in
What do
bed
you
one
mean
day.
by that? Yeah, go ahead.
I was laying in bed one day, and something came over me, and it was like, you need to go to school there. And I don't know what it was. And I walked to my parents' room, and I said, I'm going to school at UCA. I don't know what's pulling me there, but I have to go to this place. I have to. And I was like, God is probably tugging on my heart to get there. And at that point in my life, I obviously knew about God. I had a pretty decent relationship with him. And so I knew, like, when he tells you to go, like, you better go.
Just like that.
And it wasn't just like that, because I came on my official visit here, and there were some discrepancies with the hotel, something about they didn't have enough rooms, because I came with my mom, my stepdad, my younger brother, and my best friend at the time. So we were supposed to get 2 rooms. And we got to the hotel. They didn't have the other room. I was like, oh, no, I'm not coming to school here. My mom was frustrated. So I'm like, no, there's no way I'm coming to this school. They can't even get a hotel right. And I called Jackson State, because at the time I had an offer from them. And Jackson State was 3 minutes down the road. And I said, my dad was a big Jackson State fan. Oh my God, he didn't even get his degree there. He started, but he didn't finish. He got it from another school, and this fella was gun ho on Jackson State. Either way, I called him. I said, "Hey, I'm committed." I was in Conway at the hotel, and I was just like, "I'm going to Jackson State. I don't care what God told me to do." And I went through my official visit, man, and it was probably the most clarity and fun that I've ever had. Just on any of my official visits, I got to meet the guys, the coaches, the players, just be in an environment where, like, you can't fake it to a certain degree. Like, this is really what goes on a weekend in Conway. And for me, it was just enough. I was a small-town kid. I didn't know much about the nightlife in terms of clubs, anything. I was barely 18 years old, okay? Like, my parents still was driving me to school by senior year. I didn't I didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? My dad worked at school, so he took us every morning. There was just no need for me to have all that stuff. Either way, graduated. I came here the summer of. So we're forgetting. I'm skipping over the part where I committed. Decommitted from Jackson State. Once I got my weekend in Conway, I had a great weekend here. I'm telling you, it had to be number God. Okay, maybe and some alcohol, but for the most part, it was all God. But
God and alcohol.
Okay, the two may not mix, but alcohol can.
I think we got the title here.
God
Love letter. God and alcohol. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Like
so look, we I got off my official visit, came back home, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to Jackson State. I'm going to go to that school up there with the purple and gray football field. I found my forever home. Like, I'm okay with that. Decision day comes, sign the UCA. The rest is history. My original plan was to be here 4 years, get my bachelor's in biology with an emphasis in pre-dentistry. I would go to Meharry for dental school, and I would be a doctor today. This exact year, actually. But God had other plans, or I did, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, I got here, and, man, from day one, I hated it.
Wait a minute.
I hated it. Like,
you loving it, you sold, and then
because I got here and the parties wasn't here. The relationships didn't matter because we was sweating at 3 p.m. We was dying from workouts. I did not care for this place. I called my mom in July and I said, "Mom, I'm ready to go home. I don't want to do this no more." I came from Mississippi. It's the blackest state in America. Then you brought me here to Arkansas, Midwest. I didn't see many people like myself.
You better be glad you didn't go to Russellville.
God is good. Yeah, and so maybe once or twice. I had a buddy that was from there. Yeah, I'm certain. And I got here, man. It was summertime. No students were really on campus, on the athletes, and I was depressed. I was really depressed. Like, I wanted to go home. This was not what I wanted to do anymore. I had lost all my motivation. Like, and I called Mom and I said, "Come get me." And she said, "No, this is a decision you made, and I'm not gonna let you dwindle away from it because it hurts right now. It sucks, but this is the decision you made, so you're gonna have to live with it." Backstory: my parents were pro HBCU. My mom went to Alcorn State. My dad went to Jackson State, and they were not fond of me going to a PWI. Both my oldest brother and my younger brother went to Alcorn State as well, and I was the only one who said no. I'm gonna go up here with these people I've never seen before, never been around, and
I got one of them Swan Dunn questions.
Oh.
No, is this like surface level emotions, or was there really something else that we're not talking about here?
In terms of what?
Like, you're going through like ups and downs with emotions.
Yeah, so
you said what kept you here was the parties. What kept you here was that great weekend, and then what exactly changed? Because now you
once I got
doing
there,
the work.
Well, once I got there, I saw a few people that weren't like my skin complexion that weekend, but there weren't so many at the time. Again, we started when we came in that summer.
Yeah, okay.
We were in summer school, full workouts, everything. So we're in now cahoots with the regular students, coaches, other programs and stuff like that. Again, I didn't grow up around a different race of people, and so for me, it was an adjustment, and I was. Obviously, I have found some community here, but it was still those nights, those interactions, those parties even sometimes were weird for me to be around because I was used to the hip hop music, and here I am listening to Morgan Wallen. Where did we go wrong?
I see.
It wasn't just surface level.
Culture, as I say,
culture shock for sure, absolutely, 110%.
That's what it was.
It was, and I was like, oh, boy, I better
this is really happening,
right? And I was the big aggressive black guy. I was loud. I was from Mississippi. I had the thickest accent you could imagine. It was much worse than what you hear now. Like it was. My God, I was watching a video last night actually from 8 years ago, and I'm welcome home. I'm in Conway, guys, and it was so like I was like, I'm so glad for growth and enunciation,
bro.
Dialect, yeah, but
so boom, culture shock. You're going through all these things.
It didn't get better,
and it didn't.
Not until like that fall, maybe like late in the fall. I mean, there was this thing called red shirts my buddies was talking about, and again, I'm from Mississippi, really poor state. My high school had really just gotten a weight program, or actual weight room itself, maybe 4 or 5 years before I graduated. Like maybe not before I graduated, but like during my time period there. Gotcha. And so I got here, and everything was technical. The words, the workouts, it was structure. I wasn't used to that. And so it was a bigger adjustment there. I got into my third day of fall camp, and it took me 3 days to learn how to play football again. Like I thought I was, oh my God. So my first day in practice, I was horrible. I mean, I messed up on every drill. There was probably 8 of us on the depth chart. I was number 8.
Interesting.
Like when I tell people that God has really been over my life, dude, like if it was me, I would have given up. I would have walked away. But because he had a plan, a vision over my life since birth, there was no way he was going to allow that. And so day 3, fall camp, the plays are hard. I've never played structured football. Drills were terrible. I mean, I was awful. Like technique was, can this kid even play JUCO football? I'm the realist. Like I'm telling you, it was horrible. And day 3 comes, and we're going through this drill called insides. It's football, basic run plays. O-line, D-line, running back, linebackers.
That's it.
You ain't got no choice but to bump, right?
I know about that.
I told you I was 8 on the depth chart, so I'm going with the 3s. They're putting 3s against the 1s, and this is depth chart, so you got the starters versus the scrubs. I was on the scrub squad, okay? And there was this 6'3", 6'4" senior O-lineman, tall, stocky guy. I mean, you have to look up at the dude just to. And so we're doing the drills. First play, he holds me. I'm like, hey, man, stop holding me. I was a little freshman, so I'm nice with it. Play number 2 comes. He holds me again. This time I'm saying, man, stop holding me. He does it the 3rd time. Nice. You know, he treated me like a little chump. At that point, the Jackson, Mississippi had to come out. And so we got to fighting. We throwing haymakers with helmets on, crashing. Yeah, I was crash out city. Yeah, what? Man, hey, nigga, don't play with me like that, man. Yeah, you ain't. Man, don't let this reserve, you know what I'm saying, little short, fat freshman fool you, man. I'm finna get in your chest cavity. We finna do this.
Man, you ain't doing nothing on the field. You actually went to the.
No. We were in the field. We were on the football field, and we got
the field like you ain't. You know what I'm saying? How they say, leave it on the field type thing.
I'm doing the most.
Doing the most.
I'm finna take it there. We gonna have to go all the way this time.
You was that guy. I was that one.
Well, I was just like, you're not gonna keep bullying me. And my mom taught me one thing growing up.
What's that?
Is that if you beat one person, tell the rest of them gonna fall in line. Okay.
You had to get.
I had to show. He was like the test dummy. You know what I'm saying? He was the.
So tell us what you did. We want to know.
We
what
got in the field, and so we got to throwing them. Feet, helmets on, jackasses. Why y'all fighting with helmets on? I didn't care. My adrenaline was rushing. This man keep disrespecting me. He holding me, trying to play me like I'm a scrub or something. I'm number 8 on the depth chart, so to him I am a scrub, right? Man, I think we used to wear these white things on our helmets. They were soft white padded things, and they was just to protect you from concussions, whatever. It started to come off. My school was strict. Our coaches was like, if you don't got that on, you're not playing nothing. Go get it put back on. So I took myself out. I'm sitting over there trying to get it right, and at the time we had our DC coach Stacks, and he's like, Javius, where are you, brother? I'm out of breath. I'm tired because I've been beating on. He says, get in there. Get back in there. And I said, huh? I'm tired. I'm breathing heavy. No way, you finna make me get back in there. I get back in there. And I was still mad. I was pissed off. He lined the boy back up. Man, I kid you not.
Well, what you did?
I drove that boy about 15 yards past the play. No exaggeration. Nah. I didn't even care about making the play, but I had a point to prove to him. You're not going to play with me. And if I allow it to start now,
you ain't had that fire in you really like that.
And I needed that. I needed that interaction. That was God.
that was good.
And so we do that. And I tell my coach, the head coach, I look dead in his face. And I said, man, line your whole goddamn starting lineup. Because he told me after I did this to the boy, he says, you can do that to it. Walk on.
Ooh. Then you called everybody else out.
I said, hey, man, bring your whole starting lineup. And they were big. Like, these ain't what these little people... No, these were big guys back then, okay? This is 2017. And he lined them up. And I had a little fear in my heart. I was nervous, feet trembling. Hey, but I done made this bed now. We got to lay it. We got to get...
You bold with it.
Man, I promise you, I made like 4 or 5 plays back to back. I kid you not.
No.
Every play I'm on that. It could be going to the C gap. I'm over there with them. I'm tired, out of breath, wore out. Man, I was a motor horse. I had a point to prove. And it's so crazy what can happen when you got a point to prove. You ain't even doing it for the right reasons, but because you got some intentionality behind it, you ain't gonna let.
You man, I was something like that.
And I kid you not, I was number 8 on the depth chart that day. The next day I came into practice, I was number 2.
Ooh, boy,
I was lit. my coach told myself, "Yeah, I don't mind playing a freshman. I don't mind starting a freshman." I'm like, for real. So now that whole red shirt thing is out the window. Now you gotta sustain yourself. Dang, you gotta this motor you just had on day 3. Yeah. You gotta have it on day 30. Yeah, because that they know you can play football. They want to see this forever. Dang. And so, man, we got past that hump, and I mean, I went on to be a 4-year starter, all conference, all the fun things that you could possibly imagine. I didn't get all American. That sucks, but I was all academic. I was academic Hall of Fame or something for our company. ASUN player. The accolades were impeccable.
You sound like one of those who's supposed to go to the league or something.
Yeah, but that wasn't always my dream. That was never my dream.
Transparent. In the beginning, you never even said
No, I didn't find out that I was good at football until I got my first offer going into my senior year. I didn't even know how scholarships worked. Official visits, none of that. My dad was a coach, but my focus was always, I'm going to be a dentist.
That's what's up, bro.
I was smart. I was academically inclined, so I never cared about ball. This was just something
Most people was the opposite.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I was naturally good at football, so sure I'll do it, but they're going to pay.
You get that scholarship, you pay for mine.
And I remind my parents frequently, I saved you guys $50,000. I should get what I want.
You ain't right, bro.
Now, did I not save them?
That ain't necessarily their responsibility. Nah. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay. Yeah, right. But they want me to tell you. All right? Yeah, it is.
This is good, man.
Yeah.
So now you got that fire in you.
I do. And it would propel me, man, through 5 of the hardest seasons I'd ever envisioned playing football. Every year was a different beast. There was another obstacle. Like, yeah, you're starting, but you're hurt. But there's somebody behind you who's probably producing a lot more. But it was every year there was something new. Oh, but we have a senior who needs to get his play time. And I'm like, God, why you keep testing me like this? But you know what? Every year I grew closer and closer in my relationship with Christ.
All right, we gotta break that down.
So we had what we call D group on the team, and we had our FCA leader Ryan Lajeunesse. Shout out to Ryan. I just left from lunch with him today. One of the most inspirational guys I've ever been around. Held my hand through some of the darkest moments for myself, and just kind of a light for our team. He was our chapel whenever we needed any team chaplain. I'm sorry. Anything we needed, prayerfully, spiritually, even food-wise, D group would consist of crazy different meals that I had never ate before. You know what I'm saying? But Ryan really got me through some of the hardest time periods in college. Like, I got over the culture shock. I got over the not being able to play football, the starting. But there were so many other things in college that people don't talk about. There's an identity crisis, right? There are financial barriers. There are real struggles that you kind of encounter that we don't get to talk about because people just overlook it. Like, well, you playing on Saturdays. You got this jersey on, the lights, the glitz, the glam. And I'm like, man, there's so much more to it.
Family life back home.
Yeah, your own academics. Yeah, you're finding. I was 18. I moved 200 plus miles away from everything I'd ever known. What was I thinking? How bold? And it never occurred to me what I was doing. Much like now, I really cannot grasp the concept that I'm relocating to a city that's 3 or 4 times the one I'm living in now. But I have this thing where I really believe that when God says move, you have to. That's good. And that brings me to my point in terms of like, I told you, I was like, I feel like God takes me places and he does these things. Like he's really trying to allow me to be something there in that place. Like I have to be there for a certain time period and then I'm on to the next mission or whatever job I'm supposed to, or purpose I'm supposed to fulfill. And
we can't let you, what was your
purpose here?
Oh yeah, in those even maybe we can even say in the football days or
now
you can break it out, but what was the overall, you know?
I think the overall goal was one, to show people that regardless of your circumstances and your background, it doesn't dictate your outcome. Only your decisions and God's will over your life ultimately does. Also to be a light, provide laughter to people, man, who just really probably wouldn't have had it. Now, I'm not taking credit for everything, but in spaces where people just have no inspiration, they have no light, there's nothing energetic or vibrant or high frequency going on around them, and I'm just that big ball of energy that come in the room and say, hey, come on, let's laugh, you know what I'm saying? Let's do something, right? Because, yeah, life is hard. It's hard for everybody, but this don't have to be the final say, so this ain't got to be just what it is because our current situations are this. And so I think that hope, resilience, more than anything ever do, because I fought through some hard things. And, you know, after just talking to people, for instance, this is all from resilience, but more so like when I say God brings me to places, I got my last haircut from my barber. Shout out to Mark the Barber. I call him that. And he used to be at a shop right over by the church, by Sonic. And then they moved over to by another spot, the shopping center by Don Pepe's where it used to be. And I stayed consistent with him because he was one of the first barbers that could really cut my hair. And so I got my last haircut from him last week. And I texted him after. I said, man, thank you. I really appreciate just over the years, not only being a barber, but somebody confident, a journal. I probably told Mark half my life every time I sat in that chair. And he listened. He didn't judge. You know what I'm saying? And he also gave me some helpful feedback. But he texted me after I said that. He said, man, thank you, bro. He said, you don't realize it, but you contribute to a lot of my success in Conway. And I think we talked about this at Devotion on Saturday.
That's what's up.
But it was in that moment that I really realized that, one, it's never about me. And two, like, yeah, people can say whatever they want about me, but there was an impact that you will always feel. I don't know how. I don't know where. But just being the person that God has called me to be gave a lot of people hope, man, and really just something to cling to and say, hey, if that person can do it, I'm for sure. Like, there's a possibility that I can. And people may never say it, but you see it in their actions. Right? They got a new walk, a new aura about themselves. Right. And that's really what you hope to be. And I told you the definition of success is making sure that somebody else had lived better because you breathe. We think it's about us. It's not. None of this was ever about me, anything I acquired. And people will say, well, you didn't do this. You didn't make it to the league. Well, that wasn't my overarching goal. When it was over, I was okay because I knew that there was more work that God needed me to do. And this is when I say Proverbs 69 is something I resonate with because if you don't know what Proverbs 69:1 is, we plan the life we want to live, but God makes us able to live it. I plan on to be here 4 years. Barely that. I wanted to graduate early. I wanted to be a 3-year guy and get out of here. But one, for my own decisions, and two, God's will, I'm here 8 years later. More mature, more wise, a more close-knit relationship with God, and just so many other things that wouldn't have occurred had I not stayed longer than I thought I should have. Who knows what could have come of it. And so and people are like, well, I'm telling them, like, I'm packing, I'm moving, but I'm not, like, so inclined to do it. Yes, Houston is a great place, fun, lots of fun, but it's something about community, family, and the bonds that you forge over this time period that you just question if you'll ever find them again.
Yeah, man. Shoot. That's good.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Because me and my bro, we talked about that, man, when we graduated college.
Mm-hmm.
He went to OKC, and you know, I mean, I stayed in Arkansas, but I mean, I moved to Fort Smith.
Yeah.
But I'm away from family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 4 hours. He's
same.
way away from family. Like
right.
10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like we're trying to find this community that doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, when you got to college,
exactly.
you got here, you know what I'm saying? You probably have that same mindset.
Yeah.
But definitely whenever, look, this is uncle or big bro, you know what I'm saying? Let you know too, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't expect those same types of community. Because God gonna have a certain kind of community. What is it? Don't expect the the same result, doing something the same.
I think we can results.
Yeah, there we go. Say it again.
Insanity. The definition of saying is what? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Yeah, I think we can take that same concept though, even when we're talking about moments like that with community and stuff. To go to the next level, we're gonna need a different community.
Absolutely.
You know
Absolutely. So now you cooking with hot grease.
Yeah, so, I get it from you.
Stop. That's the concern though. It's like, even with me moving up another level, it's like the community that I'm going to engage with or become a part of, is it going to be enough to sustain me? That is the question I have. Like, that's my concern. That is what like scares me the most, is because like Conway is, I feel like our church specifically has wrapped me up and like coddled me and just made me like comfortable.
Spoiled?
And yeah, for sure. And so you go to this new environment and like you're out there kind of on the whim of your own.
At zero again.
Yeah. And one will wonder, why do you keep doing it to yourself? It's not my decision.
We have to. It's part of the process, man.
Like Mark said in Devotion, and it really stuck with me. He's like, you're going to have that conversation with somebody out there. God is sending. And that is what I get at when I say God is sending me to these places. Not like I'm a prophet, but I know that God is really putting me in these places for a certain reason. I don't know what it is now. I can't tell you.
It ain't about you.
It's not. It was never about me, because if it was, I'd have quit. When it got hard on day 3, I would have thrown the towel in. But from age 12 up until now, I've always known that God has had a blessing, a calling over my life that is different from most. And the responsibility for me is to be obedient to what he's saying, regardless if I agree with it or not, or my flesh.
That's right.
And follow suit. What did he say? Take up my cross and deny yourself, right? We still in the process of denying ourselves daily. You know what I'm saying? But that God is in the midst of it. And for me, dude, it's just, God, I'm not ready to leave this place. So?
Not ready.
I don't care. Go.
Yep.
They say do it scared, do it tired, alone, broke, whatever go. I'll sustain you. Daily, I'll give it to you. Just go. Just follow my word. Go do what I tell you to do. And I'm certain that for me is enough to go. His word. That's why it's so important to read it. That's why it's so important to get into it, because that's the sustaining.
That's good, man.
That's it, yeah. Yeah. You got me over here like, man, I really don't want to leave. It's too late to renege on that off.
What you mean, man?
Nah, I like
sad memories.
I like
just
that.
Going back.
Yeah.
No, I know, man. I like, you talked about the barber, man, the church. I mean, who else? The chaplain.
Devotion.
The devotional.
Yeah, shout out to Fall 17. My rookie brothers go crazy. Yeah, they are a big part of helping me identify who I was, figuring out who I was too. Like, I was a loud country fat kid from Mississippi who just was, again, I'm still the same person, but just kind of more reserved now. Like, I know more, my social awareness is a lot more in depth than it was 8 years ago. Right. And those guys helped me in some of my hardest moments where I doubted myself. My roommates, Kobe Foster, Vincent Butler, Tank, Vidal Scott, those guys were the pillar of they helped me really become who I am. And a lot of people will look at me and think that this is all, man, there are so many people who they don't even know it though. They play such a major role. Our pastor, who I met in 2018, my sophomore year in college, just God. He knew I needed that interaction, somebody who looked like me, who I could relate to. Yeah, absolutely. And he don't like to take the credit. He don't like to take no type of compliments or anything like that. But, dude, this guy has shown up in my life more times than not. And people will see this and they'll assume automatically financially. Yeah, but also like that he didn't have to do anything for me in terms of finances, and I still would have clinged to him the way I do, because he's shown me the way, right? He's shown me the gospel, the truth, things like that. And he's shown up for almost since I can remember. This guy has appeared at every football game. He has been at my white coat ceremony I had a year ago, like things that typical millionaires and pastors just don't show up and put themselves in rooms for. And not only him, but his family. Oh my God, it's that family word I keep bringing up. They will wrap you up too, man, and just make sure that you're okay. His daughter Tremere is like a real sister to me. That's my if them niggas mess with Tremere, they got to deal with Big Bro. Yeah, because I know how genuine she is and how her heart is, but that family, man, is one of a kind. And that is my concern too, is that you don't find people like this, right? Like you and I, who are just able to sit here and talk on a podcast about just people just aren't interested anymore. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They don't care to know where you came from, how you got here, and what your story is. But this church, the people, this town, its community is second to none, and I will always be an advocate for it because of kind of what it gave me. You know what I'm saying?
That's good, man. Man, if you was to give this summary, this picture for us, because you always talk about this fat, loud, whatever. Tell us some more characteristics of this guy before and now. All those people that have molded you. What would you give? Identify yourself as now.
So then I say fat and loud because if you knew me then, you heard me before you saw me. Yeah. But I've always been God-fearing. Maybe I'm now more in depth into the word. I know I can interpret scriptures to everyday life and apply them to my situations. But I started out timid, shy. I don't care how much confidence I exuded in the room. I was always kind of like, should I do this? Now I'm more so like, again, I don't go. If God said do it, go do it. I'm able to actually hear God these days instead of when I was growing up. Like coming in, like I didn't necessarily understand what God was saying, do this or do that. It was just more so I'm gonna do this, and if it works out, then that's what God wanted me to do. But if it didn't, then I know now I'm reassured that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That I understand that, right? I couldn't have understood it 8 years ago.
Had to experience something.
You have to go through some things, right? And I just understand the importance of hard work now. No.
Or you think it's a certain level,
so. Right? There's this because it's gonna require a lot more out of me in these coming weeks.
Man, if it got you through this,
absolutely,
this hard, he's gonna get you through the next.
Yeah. And this is good. That enough is enough to kind of sustain you to this next level that you're gonna go through. 'Cause it's gonna get hard.
That's right.
We're no stranger to hard work. God isn't either.
Yeah, man.
We'll get through it. There'll be days of doubt, but with what these people, this town, again, this community, our church, what they've given me is enough to carry me over the threshold of those difficult moments that I'll encounter. I'm certain.
Yeah. Hey, man, you sending back your 10%, right?
Sure. Your pastor put my business out there. So about some.
Hey,
it's
I don't care what it is, as long as you know.
Yeah, you know what?
Back here,
absolutely, right? NGC can. Yeah, I ain't gonna say get whatever because our pastor hear this and he'll take that.
Okay, I mean we definitely need.
We'll definitely give that 10%. Man, what these people have given to me 10% is nothing.
You gonna give more than 10.
See, here you go. You running out.
you just told
running out.
You just said all the stuff that they gave you.
See, here you go, y'all.
No,
here you go. I'm 10% because I got to go give 10 at the church.
You got to do.
So now we at 20.
Cheerfully.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with giving it. But look at you.
I had to.
You need to be a manipulator. You know that?
What you mean?
Because you good at just getting. Anyway.
No,
yeah, we're gonna give our 10.
We led up to this.
You
were saying this community, it ain't done a whole lot. So what you gonna do for the community is the question,
right?
That I have,
right?
I think the least you can do
is give 10%. Yeah, I have no problem with giving 10.
You know what I'm saying? But definitely, you gotta come back. maybe by this time, I have a stage or something.
Okay, yeah, you legit, yeah.
No, like for real. But what's your vision of giving back?
Oh my God, it's crazy you asked me that because I've been thinking like, and maybe it's just me, but I'm always finding a way that I can make somebody else's life a lot easier. And so I said I want to give monthly, one give to any entity that kind of poured into me and made me who I was, whether it was the Boys and Girls Club on the south side of Jackson, Mississippi, or the Delta Sigma Theta program called Embody, which was a part of empowering males and building opportunities to develop youth. Whether it was my high school, my middle school, my hygiene school, right, man. My undergraduate, the department I went to. So I said, okay, every month we'll try and give a gift to every program that kind of molded me to who I am. Obviously, the church will get theirs every month. You know what I'm saying? Whenever the pay period comes, I ain't gonna say it, but my goal was to give back to my high school and start a youth initiative that would help young guys who come from financially stricken or poverty-stricken environments, much like myself, man.
Okay,
and
break
also,
it down.
Yeah. So
wait a minute. Youth initiative.
Mm-hmm.
What we talking about?
So I've always said on this idea, but now that we have the experience, the allocated funds, and the time to kind of give toward that, I always had this initiative called Feed the Fat Mac Foundation.
Okay.
So my nickname was Fat Mac growing up. They took the Mac off, called me Fat. Now that's cool.
Okay.
And in this initiative, what we'll do is provide not only food but different resources to underserved populations throughout Central Mississippi, and just kind of step in where needed and be like that gap between success and failure, and just kind of shield God, because I had all of this growing up. So there's no way that I can acquire this much success without lending a hand back or reaching back and saying, hey, man, here's how you do it. That's the least I can do.
Yeah, man.
And again, we know that God gives us these blessings, this job, this opportunity, this career, this profession, not for me, but to spread the goodness of God and show people his light at the end of the day. So this is, yes, it's money. Yeah, that was going to be there. I never questioned if it was. But now it's like, what are you going to do with it? And so do some good in the world, and hopefully I can do that. That's my goal. So.
Man, that was good, boy. It was like you was prepared.
No, I wasn't, man. But
I definitely. Hey, this straight off the dome, y'all.
We raw. We don't do no scripts around here because then I'm faking it. Now I want you to see the raw, uncut.
This is really good, man. Now the people and myself. We know about God. We knowing about your journey, but we ain't talking about that alcohol.
What? I was just telling somebody how alcohol ain't never left me. Let me just play.
Yeah, man, like truly, like for real, man. What has alcohol done for you?
Oh.
I know that it really sounds like a crazy question, but
that's a good question. Alcohol has gained weight, jogged major decisions. It has let me tell you something. Alcohol really made me a lot of friends in college, for real. Like, a lot of my friends are alcohol.
Bad friends, good friends.
Great people. They're doctors now. Yeah, they awesome. Yeah, they doctors. They in PT school. Man, some of them are happily in there.
Interesting.
Alcohol is too much. Anything will kill you. Absolutely.
Networking. That's what's up.
But for me, I'm really an introvert. Like, mom will tell you, like, like, I may appear as somebody who likes to be, I like to be well kept to myself in a dark space. Not on depressive stuff, but just like quiet sometimes. Like, the noise is too much for me. I like to pop out every now and then go back into my little hide and shell.
Okay.
But
we're going to go back to that, but let's keep talking
about
that alcohol.
Yeah. Jesus got me in a chokehold. Dunn and Julio. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Truthfully, I could go without it. But it's a social thing for me. It doesn't consume me. I know when we're doing too much of it. But for some people, when the only time they see you, you only got a bottle in your hand, that's what they perceive you to be. And so people who watch this video today will say, man, I did not know that kid had that in there. Am I partially responsible for it? Absolutely. Yeah. But the other half is like, you formed a preconceived notion from day one, so I had nothing to do with it. Does this make sense? But alcohol, anyway, alcohol.
I can understand.
Yeah, alcohol is my social thing. I don't like for it to consume me. But I love some 1942. I'm gonna have me a glass on the weekend for sure. But I don't want it to, and we associate it like so negative because of what I graduated school and professional school while still consuming. And there were times I had to take a break, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't like for it to be my whole personality. You know, yes, it's something I do, but that's not who I am. Does that make sense? Like, but again, when people see you frequently and they see you with the bottle frequently, this is what they attach you to. This is,
No, that's good, man. No, I've thought about, man, going out every now and then, man, drinking a little something to network. Cause man, I got a partner, man. I'm like, man, you always in rooms that I'm not in because you know you be drinking a little bit. And I mean, there's some benefits.
Right?
And it's
Yeah.
like, dang, you meeting who and who? You just out?
Yeah.
It's like I've been trying to meet these people, and I'm from Arkansas. You ain't even from here.
Yeah, I got a funny story.
Type thing, but go ahead.
I was with one of my buddies, and he's in the NFL. He may take credit for it. Actually,
Okay.
But we can include alcohol because it was going on too. And I was in Dallas one weekend, and I actually rubbed shoulders with Jamar Chase. Same car, same. Yeah, so alcohol can take
wild,
you places.
Ain't it?
Yeah, man, it's
you
amazing.
Doing
what
shots with people.
NFL, yeah, oh yeah. Hey, man, I've got some stories I can sit up here, but I created a lot of things in my life to simply God, like for real. Not the alcohol usage, but just the relationships and the bonds that were able to be created through those things. So,
I mean, he'll use everything. God will, you know.
Yeah, he too wise to make a mistake.
That alcohol, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, he turned water into wine, brother.
You funny.
Yeah.
People, they was waiting on that. You was too quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he turned water into wine, but man, it ain't a sin to drink; it's a sin to get drunk.
Yeah, man. Dang, man, can you remember what I said? We're gonna talk a little more about you being by yourself or something like that.
Yeah, introvert, absolutely.
I'm really curious. Like, let's talk a little bit about that. I think we're gonna lead into something with this. But like, tell us about this individual that just like to be.
So what people don't know is like I'm a nerd. Okay, I am a geek. I would prefer to read novels, learn new material, versus being outside. When I was growing up, I rarely went outside. I didn't like outdoors. I hated it. Football was the thing that got me out of my shell and made me kind of interact with people. I would go places and I wouldn't talk. I would just sit there and do my stuff. Like, it's hard for me to kind of connect to people, mainly because my level of intellect. Like, I just understand things on a very in-depth analysis and not surface level. So when I'm talking to people my age or younger than me, they don't connect it there. So for me, it's like, yeah, I'm going to just stick to myself. Because, one, I don't feel like overly explaining myself. Two, you're still not going to grasp it. And three, I'm going to get irritated. So, no, we're not going to do it. So I would sometimes, even now, like, my buddy called me about a week ago. He was like, you okay over there? I figured you just being a little antisocial. Like, nah, I'm just chilling. Like, I'm just being what I've always wanted to be. But school forced me to be an extrovert. I had to talk to people every day, patience, all that. But, man, it was left to me. I would read my Bible, a novel here and there, watch some TV, and just stick to myself, you know?
Okay. I think I know where I was getting at it. So you're this comfort zone. I'm curious. That's where I was gonna go. Do you ever feel lonely at times? And I'm asking this because of how you're saying how your personality is, but you're about to go somewhere by yourself. I'm afraid you may pick up this alcohol to network and do a little too much out there.
No,
because you're gonna have to pick up the alcohol to meet and rub some shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be alcohol. You can just find somebody who got similar hobbies with you. Like, I was just talking to one of my friends that stay out there. And she was telling me about a new church. I think it's called Blue something. Anyway, it's youth, kind of like younger church, similar to MGC. We're talking about run clubs and things like that. So the thing I've also been praying for is that God sustains me, that I don't become a part of the environment that I'm in. Houston's a big city. There's a lot of parties.
Okay. So you know somebody.
I know quite a few people in Houston, actually.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, problem, right? I said the same thing. I was like, Jesus, you got to send me to places where I don't know people. Just knowing people is... Yeah, I got a bunch of teammates. Even people I just met along the years.
This may be a good thing or a bad thing. This is going to be interesting.
I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a God thing.
For sure.
Absolutely. Whatever comes of this. Not whatever, but the good things, the things that... really kind of force me to go outside of my comfort zone are going to be of God. And again, like I said, the things that I've acquired, the knowledge, all of that will kind of be utilized in an effort to, and God, to sustain me while I'm in Houston. Like, not overly consume alcohol, not overindulge in things that aren't stimulating me and my intelligence, whatever. But it's going to take some hard work because you're so used to this small environment, you know, getting a drink with your buddies and the norm, and now you're stepping into a place where you're a small fish.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Man, I used to do this a lot, especially, you know, growing. I was like, does this align with what God has for you?
Yes.
Does this align with, you know, it's just simple as that. Does this align with not just with what God has for me,
right, but
how he, you know what I'm saying, is calling us to be obedient to his word.
Absolutely.
So, man, definitely, you know the word, boy.
You think so? I hope so, man.
Hey,
I
man,
really
you
hope
quoting
so.
all kind of stuff.
Well, I told you I like to read, man, and I don't like to read to just completion. I read to understand and comprehend. Like, I need to know.
So, what are you reading right now?
Crazy Faith by Mike Todd.
Okay, I'm finna say, I think I got that up.
Are you serious? Yeah, it's right there. Right there on that, with that fourth book
somewhere
up there. Yeah, I'm reading it and I'm like, ain't really what I need. I don't really have crazy faith right now in terms of like, there's not anything I'm trying to like get through. But I took boards about a month ago, graduating all this stuff. So I just want to keep my mind focused toward God because with so much going on in the world, it's easy to kind of deviate from that. And so the only way to kind of reel my mind and like stimulate it is to keep reading it over and over and over again. At some point it'll click and say, hey, but here's the kicker.
Come on.
We think that when we become Christians that we indulge ourselves in the Bible and in a relationship with God, that these obstacles, these sinful natures, the flesh will just die off and it'll never. No.
It's forever.
And the more valuable you become to the kingdom, the more you will encounter it.
Right. And don't get married if you really want to see the test.
Oh, don't get married.
If you don't, shoot, that's even worse.
I'm like James. What does it say? James 1-3. Testing your faith, produce a persevere. Yeah, let it.
The devil, he really don't. You think, he ain't really worried about no single folk like that. Marriage, look, I ain't coming here to really throw that, but you know, that's looking at how Jesus is, Christ is to the church, the body. We're a representation of that as a married couple.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Yeah, I always wonder how married people cheat. Because, like, that's a covenant between you, your significant other, and God. How do you do that?
Think about it. When you cheat on Christ, we're the bride. Come on, what are you hurting for?
Go ahead. Walk us down.
No, that's all I got.
Walk us. No. Come on.
No, bro, look. You're wondering how somebody cheat is just the same as when we're cheating on Christ.
And what does cheating on Christ look like? Give us an example.
No, anything, man.
Drinking alcohol, overly indulging in alcohol.
Well, getting to where you don't know what you're doing. I say, you're going to take a drink. For some people, taking that drink is going to lead them to, what I'm saying, doing more drinks.
Habits.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But boom, like you knew not to do that. And then, of course, you had an overeating type thing. We use that for people that say, hey, I don't do anything. But most of the time, that's the one thing you do. Or, looking at somebody lustfully. Anyways, the list goes on, bro, But yeah, bro, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You funny, bro. You talking something. No, you said that and I had to.
Because I didn't like the way you said it was like, I have never thought about it in that light. But that's good, though.
Yeah,
right? This is what I'll miss. Like, these conversations with people who just get it. You don't have to explain. They just know kind of what to say, the gauge of the community.
Boom, yeah, we didn't have to have a long, drawn-out conversation there. Boom.
It clicked.
Yeah,
but that's a part of having a relationship with God.
Yeah, no, that's good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we missed some things, man. I ain't trying to end this, but is there something else that we could add?
Thank you. Gratitude. Grateful, truly and honestly, for a place that I didn't think was fitting for me, but God knew it was just right. And so he put me here. And I tell people all the time, like, man, if I would have been in any other city with the ability I have, I don't know that I would have acquired so much, so many accolades, or I would have achieved so many things because my focus wouldn't have been there. So I say, God is so wise. He don't make no mistakes because he knew I need to be here. Small town. Good, you really got to focus and hone in on what you're trying to accomplish and things like that. And he just knew, like, man, I love God so much for that. There's not anything in this world I can give more to him besides my obedience. To show my gratitude. And the people who poured into me from my adolescent years up until now. So I was going out into the world and doing good things. And so I'm just grateful. Like, thank you to the people who took time out of their days to have a conversation with me. The people who may have fed me, gave me some clothes, some shoes, took me here, done these things with me. You didn't have to, but you did. And hopefully, prayerfully, in some form or another, I can pay you back. Not necessarily financially, but just like being a good person and putting good and doing good into the world. Just thank you. I don't know if people realize this, but I'm so grateful for everything in my life because I knew what my life could have been 26 years ago. And I'm 26, so.
That's good. And, man, I like that you said that, and I think I got one last question. Mm-hmm. This is, it's a mixture of one of them questions people say, like, hey, what will you tell your younger self? But I want you to give some advice to that guy that had just showed up that didn't want to go to UCA. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him about,
oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, don't stay right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Talk to that guy.
They get me emotional because, God, I did not envision my life where I am now. Like, I always had said that what I wanted to do, but I didn't have any plan. I didn't have any idea of how I would have. I said this one day. I said, 12-year-old me would be so proud.
Right.
I didn't always have the confidence. Sometimes I struggle with it now. I didn't always have the resources, the means. But I would tell younger me, I would tell that boy who was 18 years old, struggling with finding who he was, relationship with Christ, doubt, to keep going. To no matter how dark the days get, you continue, you push through, you persevere, and that's why James 1:3 just hit so differently because in that moment, in those storms, in those times of doubt, depression, you don't think that this is doing a good thing in me, that this is doing something that I'll need later on. I would tell him to trust the process. Don't rush through life. You know what I'm saying? Hug the trees, right? Find peace where you are. Don't look for the next big thing. Your feet are exactly where they need to be. Enjoy it. Man, I wish I could go back to those days in that dorm room where I didn't know what the next workout would hold, what the next meal would look like, because it built character. It was something in that moment that I needed that would sustain me now. I'm really grateful for these years. This is, I can't believe that this is my life. A lot of days I wake up and I'm like, this is you? And then I reflect briefly. I'm like, it wasn't. It's God.
That's it. Yeah.
It's God. So persevere. Keep going. Keep God at the forefront. Surround yourself with people from all walks of life. Don't alienate yourself to one group of people based on skin color, religious beliefs, any of that. Mom would tell me, you need two groups of friends when you get to college. Ones who are about their business and books, and the other ones who like to party and enjoy themselves. Perfect balance.
Hey, that's a good parent right there.
Yeah. God.
That's good. Yeah.
God. Yeah. That was good.
So that was good. I told you. Hey, well done. Leave it in design, man. I ain't gonna hit you with the one. Talk to your future self, but you can talk, later to that. But I mean, you got something. I was like, we ending this. Wait a minute. Go ahead.
Future self. Hey, man.
What up?
We got a lot of money to acquire, brother. Buckle up.
No, you know how they do it though. I don't know if you've seen it. There's this one girl. She's like, I think she do this every year. She's like, hey, did you start that business? Did you start that business that you wanted to? Did you make those connections? Did you get a deal with Nike type thing? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that'd be dope. Actually, I mean, if you want to,
I
don't know
big
if you
goals.
Wrote your goals out.
Like
top three.
I want to open my own cosmetic.
You gotta tell them, hey, did you open your own cosmetic? That's how you gotta talk to yourself.
Next year, no, we're not gonna say next year because I think that's a goal. That's like 3 to 5 years. At 30, I would like to have $500,000, and that may like be mind blowing, but I would like to have that.
That's it.
He said that's it. Well, if you get 500,000 more, we can maybe doing some numbers. I'm only 3 years from 30, by the way.
I think you could do it.
I absolutely.
You could do more than that.
You know why? It's not me. It's God's favor over my life.
Yep.
And if He put it there, then.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead, man.
Yeah. So future self. Again, we're gonna make a lot of money, but future self, we're going to become more involved in the church. And this is my first time saying this publicly. Mom would always ask, and so many other people have said it to me, like, "You have a place in ministry." Stop. You have a place in ministry. I don't know what that place looks like. God, I'm scared of what it looks, because with that, it's going to come a lot of responsibilities, man, but necessary. Prepare yourself. The road ahead is going to be challenging, but fun, full of God, love, and a whole bunch of success. But we're going to open that business. We're going to lose about 30 to 50 more pounds, too. A business. So I've always wanted to open up a it's a branch from dentistry. It's not necessarily under my title of registered hygienist, but just like cosmetics. So we'll do whitenings, gems on teeth, and things like that. Just kind of.
You can do that. You can start that tomorrow.
Yeah, but I want me a shopping center. I want multiple branches. I want to make this a household name, and it's gonna happen.
Okay,
it's going to.
Don't forget about me. I can help with some stuff.
Yeah, for sure. The promotion, advertisement, sales, all that good stuff.
You gotta let the people know. Like you advertising us.
Yeah, we gonna do it. Because you know what I've learned is that the time got to pass by, so we may as well spend it doing whatever we want to do with it, as long as God is in the midst.
Come on, man.
That's right.
That's good.
Hey, I appreciate y'all watching. I hope y'all watch this through the whole.
This is going out some kind of way tonight. I don't know. My computer with
tonight. This going out.
No, it ain't going out.
I like that. Come on, you can do it. You can. What he tell me, I can make a meal.
Talk to that computer right there.
Hey, computer, we need you.
My future self. Yeah, you gonna have the latest and greatest.
That's right. Speak it. Tell yourself that. Now tell us to speak it. Yeah. And I'm gonna call you next year. Did you get the latest and greatest?
Yeah. So I got it. I said it, and I got it.
You said 2 months. You said 2 months.
You sure right.
You said I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, I probably will have it in about a month.
I like that.
Actually,
I like that.
In a couple of days.
Oh, you sure?
Anyways, hey man,
that graduation
this about
gift.
you.
That graduate.
This about you, man. This is good, man. I think. Yeah. Hey, let us know if you cried. He was almost from the cry over here. He held it back, man. He held it back. He held it back. Y'all just zoom in.
He was too. He think I don't know. I'm a man of many social cues. I can pick up on any. Yeah.
No. I got these long eyelashes. I always got,
Right. Right. What?
No, man. This was beautiful, man. Thanks for having me on, man, to kind of help guide this thing.
Yeah, I appreciate
that. What you think about that? We're gonna just keep it rolling.
That was good. That was really good of you. You handled that well. Some people I can just talk over and they'll just keep, but you learn how to dip right on in and say, hey, And I appreciate that. You're a really smart man. Keep doing this. You can make a lot of money off this.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. No, I've been trying to learn from the best, man. Well, I know I'm behind. I know I do all that technology stuff, but man, I have to
every now and then step in and say,
yeah, man. I'm glad I was able to do this, man, and help out. But like I said, it's about you, man, and thank you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You definitely helped the brother out.
I hope so.
Showed me some things.
I hope so. Good and bad.
Good and bad. What you said, the Don Julio? I know to stay away from it.
It's right.
Just stay away.
If you happen to have a chance to get near it,
no, you just run
to it.
No, run away.
Nah, man.
Boy,
I hope so. I hope we can all say we took something from each other. Right?
Oh, like, for sure. I
picked
feel
up
like
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, if we're not doing that,
we're doing each other a disservice.
Then
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
This is good.
All right, bro. That's it, man.
This is good. This is I
done.
like this.
Thank y'all for tuning in. What's the podcast name?
ClearMindz, Uncut, Real and Raw. That's it.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
We'll holler at you.
We out.